Hi, Windom. Paige here. Dale wrote you this whole letter, and then he scrapped it and wrote the whole thing addressed to Diane and said, but I still think you need to be part of this. Anyway, even though the letters are still going to be addressed to Diane, I need you to stay posted too. I mean, Dale is really sure that Diane exists and she's somewhere out there, but what I'm saying is we can't just keep talking to a ghost. We have to have some anchor to reality. I'll take care of sending you something every time there's a new update. There are certain parts of the story I would like to share with you, but I'm hesitant because it gets really, personal. Anyway, around the time Diane got replaced, or maybe it was a few months later, Dale must have spent over a month lying in bed, which makes it hard to keep track of time. Anyway, two new people came into our lives, similar and opposite at the same time, both dangerous. I wish I could tell you, it makes for such a vivid story. But, I think even explaining the reasons I can't tell it to you would actually be shooting myself in the foot. I actually hope I haven't gone too far already. I mean, for now, really, the only thing I can do is put as much distance as possible between me and them. Now it's really, really hard for us to trust anyone. But we're still trying to keep the DIA together, and of course, I'm trying to protect Dale. That's my job. I guess I'm the only one who has a clear job in any of this. There was another person there, too. He had an aura of plants, of gentleness, so, of course, the fire hurt him the most. I should have known that the way things were going, it was too good to be true. And of course, the worst part is that there's no learning experience, no moral. We can't draw any conclusion for it, not if we want to keep on being able to trust anyone. Anyway, onto the things I'm actually allowed to talk about, or maybe I'm not allowed to use the word allowed. You know what? Fuck it, onto the next thing. The thing I really wanted to talk to you about is this new band I'm in with TE. This guy we met under really weird circumstances. And all the weird synchronicity surrounding it. First of all, Nikita, Dale, and I were doing this weird experiment we do sometimes. Most of the time when we trip, we use Obical-P, stick to man's best friend. But sometimes we switch the doses with placebos. So that night, I never actually knew if I was truly tripping. I sure felt like I was, though. We went to a bar that hosts these monthly goth nights where people wear these great costumes, and or equally striking lacks thereof. Did I get that grammar right? Anyway, what I mean to say is that some people are naked. So picture all that, with a big octopus mural in the back. Pretty dark music as far as poppy dance shit goes. And mostly dark, with these colorful lights and black lights illuminating everything from a variety of different angles. So now, imagine us all having a drink and staring at all these crazy looking people sort of in a trance. When Nikita taps me on the shoulder and says, "Did you see that guy?" "Dude," I say, "I'm not going to know which guy you're talking about." "Just look," Nikita says, and I do. And of course I immediately know which guy. I turn back to Nikita. "You could have just said the literal alien." Yep, this guy is clearly from another planet. He's got completely white irises, diamond grills, and two little skinny little dreadlocks that look like antennae. Other than that, he's just wearing plain black, but that kind of even makes him weirder. We were too shy to approach him that night, not being altogether sure if he was real or a hallucination. But we all continued to see him floating on the periphery of our vision, staring at us and grinning. When Nikita finally did meet him, apparently the first thing he said to them was, "Do you know about gang stalking?" Yeah, that was me. And no explanation afterwards. At that moment, it was clear that T was somehow involved in the DIA already, and a potential cult member/leader. Since then, we've gotten much closer, and he's helped us with some of our cult-themed art projects. I specifically wanted to tell you about a walk I took with him a couple days ago, where a bunch of really strange things happened all in a row. It was just so fucking, I don't know, listen to it and then you tell me what a good adjective would be. I was passing out zines to anyone who looked like they'd be interested. Basically, anyone I thought might have a good amount of Obical-P in their system. We stopped at this news store, the kind of place you can tell is supposed to be cool and hip. There are all these white kids lounging around and listening to rap music, but the N-word was like in every verse. I mean, I listened to songs like that too, but something about that place felt weird to me. Bad vibes, awkward stares. Our zine was telling me definitely not to put it there, so I didn't. On our way out, I noticed this upside-down giant Buddha head. Maybe they put it there ironically, or they were using it for something, but either way, A decapitated Buddha in front of your door is obviously a big no-no to me, karma-wise, but I guess I'm just much more sensitive to these things than, say, your average whoever. So there's a picture of that along with this message. Next thing. As soon as I saw this car, I knew there was no way I was going to do it justice through words, so I took a picture, actually a video, and here it is. When the driver got out to go into the store, it gave me the perfect opportunity to slip a zine in the passenger seat. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it was parked in the middle of the road, as we do in Albany. And I also distributed zines to curious onlookers, who may have actually thought the car and I were performing together. And the funny thing is that we had only just met. We paid the obligatory visit to the Moses statue, and then we started to head back to T.E.'s place. But not before encountering this hunched-over little old guy, who turned out to be one of T.E.'s longtime friends. A retired professor who the cops beat up or something, and that's why I was hunched over like that. From far away, I thought he might be holding 2 canes, but as I approached, I realized they were golf clubs. This little old man was playing golf with a Coke bottle, dribbling it from one golf club to the other, and then pitching it under people's stairwells, grinning to himself the whole time. See the video.
Yeah. Okay.
Take that.
Woo! That's an even better one. You got it this time.
I gotta meet my daughter.
Okay, have fun.
I really like this great new all-American sport. I think it's the perfect thing for the post-apocalypse, and I want to buy a pair of golf clubs as soon as possible. And a bottle of Coke. Or maybe Pepsi if I wanted to be on the opposing team. I'm thinking there should also be a bottle of Fago or Shasta Cola, just to ramp up the chaos a little bit. Anyway, tangent, sorry. Anyway, the last thing was I went into T.E.'s room, and he had these carefully drawn black bugs all over his wall, like a giant centipede, and I think a couple of flies. That creepy minimalist aesthetic, just like his style. But the funny thing is, if you talked to the guy, you'd know that you could trust him right away. It's funny how aesthetics often go backwards like that. People who put their dark side out in the open, I guess, just have nothing to hide. Or maybe they do, but, you know, not the bad stuff. And everyone trusts T, it's not just me. Like, people he's barely met. So, it's weird. And the stencils on the wall reminded me of that mosquito stencil I made a year ago. It would be the perfect thing to put on T's wall. I mean, what are the chances that I would have had a mosquito stencil that fit the exact style of this guy's room with these black insects all over it? I mean, I don't know if it means anything, but it's just a really cool coincidence. The reason I made the mosquito stencil in the first place was that I had just gotten fired from my job, or, you know, sort of fired. They told me I couldn't come back. And I realized that, to them, people like us are mosquitoes. You know, parasites. So I really wanted to pick a bug that nobody likes. I mean, even cockroaches can be kind of badass because they're resistant to nuclear radiation, but mosquitoes are just fucking bad. Everybody hates them. And so I thought of it as sort of a challenge of, like, how far can I take the concept of appropriating all the bad things people say about me? And people like me. Like, I don't think I'm special or anything. I think there are plenty of people like me. And we can tell what people think about us. We can read their minds. We're not stupid. I mean, you know, everybody can read minds. It's not just us. But once you're aware that you can do it, it becomes pretty, you know, obvious what people are thinking. And I think there's a whole group of people like us who get this mosquito label, this lack of respect. And I don't think it's a race or a class thing. It's more subtle than that. It's like we have different vibrations. We're the artist types, the performing monkeys, the idiot savants, shit like that. If we don't fit in at a job, we're just like, fuck you, we don't fit in anywhere. But fuck them, you know, we'll be the mosquitoes if that's what they want us to be. I mean, it's like that Jefferson Airplane song. We are forces of chaos and anarchy. Everything they say we are. And we are very proud of ourselves. Sorry, I'm bad at singing, but that was my best impression of it. And there's one more synchronous thing that literally just happened. A mosquito just flew right in front of me. And after just going on about how much I relate to mosquitoes, I just smashed it. And I feel like that's a good end to this story. Alright, Windom, I gotta go, but more coming soon. Thanks for keeping in touch. Paige.